Hi, Cynthia. Good evening. How are you? Yeah, good evening, everybody. Welcome back to my YouTube page once again. Yeah, I think yesterday we had some meaningful conversation that I think we really made an impact. So today too, we are here once again, also to just get some good information that will help the other people. Hi. So I think we are waiting for the others to join. Yes, I think I see Cynthia here, but I'm waiting for the others to join so that we can start. Yes, I think we have two people, so we are waiting for the others to join so that definitely we can also give out the information we have for you people today. So sure. So yes, I think I started about some new Canadian pathway to permanent residency. So yes, click on the link. Yeah, you were the first person. Yes, sure. I know you were the first person, Cynthia. Yes. Hi, Eva. Hi. How are you? Hi, Nana Fori. Yes, I'm fine. Thanks, and you? Yes. New Canada pathway. Yes, I'm trying to upload it on Facebook so that others can join because normally when I only go on Facebook, people do complain they don't really get the whole thing very well. So today I just decided like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna do it on YouTube and then I share the link over there. Great. Yeah, yesterday I spoke with Uncle Robin, so yeah, sure. For you to know that. Yes, so yes, as we will be waiting for hi Willie, good evening. As we will be waiting for Benjamin to join, I think I will first go through with the hi SK. Yeah, so I'll first go through with the Canada PR. Sometimes when I see these agents and the fraud issues, I get a little bit sometimes, because like I work hard for every money that I spend. So sometimes when people also work hard for their money and then they get duped or they get scammed by agents, like it really upsets me. And hi John. And one thing is like it's very strange to me. It's like we are in 2025. Like those days that it matter when it comes to the DV lottery. The DV lottery, I think you have to wait already because like this one is about the people that already applied and then they are awaiting their result that is next month. And sometimes the reason why we are making this video is because people do win the DV lottery, but they don't get the chance to travel to America simply because first their documents will not be ready even for them to book an appointment because like it has two different I think five or four different stages. Even after you have won, you need to go to you get out your documents, go to it's like you need to go to get police report, and you have to go to medicals even before you can able also to book an appointment and all those things. Yeah, we all know getting an appointment at the American embassy is sometimes not really that's something that is really easy to get. That is why I took it upon myself to uh, help my followers so that they can just gather their documents on time and they can get the appointment on time, because the most painful thing is like, you winning the DV lottery, and then unfortunately you can't get the chance to travel to America because you don't have appointment date, or let's say because you couldn't get my time to gather the necessary documents. I'm somebody like I'll be going to Morocco, I think, in October. But I think I have already booked everything already. I always want to prepare ahead to avoid, rushing when the time approaches. I'm not a last minute person. So definitely that is why I always want to encourage my followers, or my people on my YouTube, or my social media or handles, or on my Instagram, to also learn from that. I'm not perfect, but there are certain things that is about me that I think people can also learn. When you plan ahead, you avoid a lot of rushing and a lot of mistakes. So that is why I'm here trying to let you guys apply as early as possible. Get your documents as early as possible, and then you know what the next stage. So today I'm waiting for Benjamin to join the live, so that, because he is a winner, he was once a winner from the DV lottery. So definitely I would want him to speak more about it, because I think when it comes to certain things, you need people that has much experience in it to just give you the right information. Because like giving a false information about anything that can jeopardize somebody's destiny is also another sin altogether. So sometimes, even though sometimes I may have some information, I always try my best to get the people that has so much knowledge on it, get them on board, and they can educate the public about it. So as I said, as we are waiting for Benjamin to join, because he told me he was going to be a little bit late, which I understand. So as we are waiting for him, I will use this opportunity to tell you about the new Canada PR that they just launched, and which they will open the applications, I think, on April 27th April 2025. That's this year, exactly in this month. So this whole thing, what is it about? Is a new pathway to residency, permanent residency in Canada. Ooh, okay, I'm gonna address that. Is a new pathway to permanent residency in Canada. So this is different from express entry, and this is different from other ways of getting your permanent residency in Canada. So with this new program, it's for everybody that is dreaming of going to live in Canada with a resident permit. The reason why sometimes I advise people to go with this kind of route to Canada, or to, I said a couple of messages to me about by having a teacher. Okay, I'm gonna do that later. So the reason why I advise people to go to move abroad with either work or school is because, with work or school visas, you automatically get your resident permit to work in the country you're moving in. You don't get stranded. You don't have to think and go on your knees and pray and crying to God, oh God, when are you going to help me get my documents? When are you going to help me get a work to do? Because with these kind of job visa applications, it come with direct employment. Even you need employment before you can able to start the whole process. So by the time you are already in Canada, you have your job there. You don't have to go through stress, because you know what? I think last time I had some confrontations. I think Nana is aware, with some guy under one of a friend's posts. He was asking between Switzerland and between Germany, which one should he choose? I told that my friend to choose Germany, to choose Switzerland. The other guy told him to choose Germany, and I think it was a little bit of a misunderstanding. Yeah. So eventually, one time he also told me, oh, he is also living in Switzerland. So I have to ask him, why did you recommend Germany for somebody when you are living here? And he was like, oh no, I was on tour. So sometimes the misinformation that you people pick from the internet is too much. It's too much. Make sure the place that you are getting your information that you are getting is verifiable, is authentic from the source, is direct from the source. Because all my information is like, nobody has ever tried to say, oh, this information that you put down is not credible, and then has been able to challenge the information with the right with their so-called right information. Because I make sure all the information that I'm going to put across is the correct information. And most of these information is like I've had an application through the USCIs before, and I've had applications through other European countries before. So it's not like, oh, okay, I sit down and or search on Google. No, most of these are things that I've experienced that I'm using it, to teach you people, because you will always not like Europe or America when you travel to Europe or America with a visitor visa, thinking of not going back, but trying to stay in and work your way out. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. And this whole truth behind this kind of thing is that, when you have an American visa for 5 years, you are only allowed in America to stay in America for 6 months, continuous 6 months, not for continuous 5 years. It's a visitor visa. So the maximum you can stay on that visitor visa is 5 years. Sorry, it's 6 months. So after 6 months, you need to leave America, or even if it's Canada and you have 10 years, you need to leave Canada and re-enter. So in a whole year, you're allowed to stay a maximum of 12 months in that your five years visa. You are only allowed to stay a maximum of 12 months on that your 5 year visa. So definitely, I think this is something that people should also take note. Don't just be carried away by, oh, I have a 5 years visa in my passport. It's not 5 years, bro. It's a 6 months. In as much as they give you 5 years or 6 months. And one thing we also not have to forget is like, in as much as no, under normal circumstances, you are allowed to stay 6 months on your visit visa. The CBP officer, like the Customs and Border Protection officer, they can also decide to give you, like, maybe, okay, when after me getting through your DS-160 or your IRCC account, I think it's better I give you 1 month. So the validity depends on that CBP officer, that Customs and Border Protection officer. They determine how much you stay, because at the end of the day, they put the stamp in your passport to determine how many months you can stay. You understand my point? So for me, I still think I don't get much. I don't really. It doesn't really make sense to me when somebody posts a visa and they tell you a visit visa is valid for 10 years. Yeah, in as much as it's valid for 10 years, make it clear to the person, like, you cannot stay for continuous 10 years, because most of these our people, sometimes they don't know nothing about visa. All they know is, oh, I have a visa in my passport. The agent said it's 5 years. Yes, of course it's 5 years, but the maximum you can stay in the country at a time is 6 months. That's the maximum. Do not forget how many months or weeks or days you can stay in the country. Also, even though you have 6 months, also depends on the CBP. Like when I say CBP, do you get me? It's the Custom and the Border Protection. So when the duration of your stay, even though it's 6 months, also can determine by the CBP officer. Because when he put 1 month, you cannot challenge it, like, oh, but I heard I can stay 6 months. Why have you given me 1 month? No. So this is something that we should try to get the maximum is 6 months, Cynthia. The maximum you can stay on that your visit visa. It doesn't matter if you have a Canadian visa for 10 years. It doesn't mean you should stay continuously in Canada for 10 years. If you stay beyond the time they gave you, your visa ceases to be valid. And when even they catch you, they can revoke that visa in as much as, So this is something, hi, Hilary. So this is something that you should really consider. I think there are certain things and clarification that a lot of people need. Traveling itself is not about just getting the visa. Traveling itself is not about holding the resident permit or whatever. There are a lot more information that I think most of us need, but then we don't try to search for the information. So we always end up falling a victim, because it doesn't make sense to me to pay $10,000 or €8,000 to a connection man for a visa that you are going to stay on only for 6 months. Believe me, I'm living here for a couple of years, and I must be honest with you, some people barely even have like 5,000 physical cash in their bank account now, as I'm telling you. So imagine you taking that physical cash to give it to somebody just to process a 6 months visa which can also be even be a 1 year visa, a 1 month visa, or 2 months. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't really make sense to take that huge sum of money. Sometimes I get message from people, do I have to, I want to sell my property and travel. I advise them, no, do not. In as much as abroad is good, it will take you some time to integrate into the system. It will take you a couple of time to integrate to the system. Believe me, it's not just like, oh, you just come today and fine, everything moves on. You can get that only when you are coming with a work visa. When you are coming with a student's visa, most of you are coming to work part-time to help pay your tuition fees. So it doesn't really make sense when you take that much money, 10,000 to pay an agent, whilst you can just use 185 to pay for your visa fee, book a hotel. Even with a hotel fee, you don't have to pay directly. You can book a hotel that you have to pay when you arrive. America doesn't need a travel insurance. They don't need a flight reservation. Just get a good itinerary. I told you guys yesterday, just get a good itinerary. Get your visa fee 185. And then what else? Just book your hotel. The hotel you don't even have to pay. There are hotels that, like, when you are going to book a hotel, read and understand the terms and conditions. I remember I was trying to book a hotel for somebody in Chicago, and unfortunately, I didn't really read through the booking terms and conditions. So I ended up like booking a hotel that they are going to pay for like 3,000. Yeah, of course, America is very expensive when you're trying to book a hotel. When I go to America, I always stay in the hotel. I don't even travel to live with somebody because I want my freedom too. So I'm not the type of person that I'm not, oh, I know somebody here. I'm going to call you so that you let me stay in your place. No, I always go prepared. I make sure I book my hotel. I make sure if I need a car, I make sure I rent a car in any different country. I have an international driving license. So I can drive anywhere in the world that I want. So I make sure I go prepared. Do not travel to put your hope on somebody that they are going to host you. Even if you are coming here, you think I'm going to host you. I'm not going to host you because even my brother in Canada, he knows when he is coming here, he has to book his hotel. The same way, even though he has a house, when I'm going to Canada, I'm not going to live in his house. I'm going to book my hotel. I need my privacy. So if you think somebody is going to host you somewhere, no, like always try to do something for yourself. Be prepared when you want to travel. Yesterday I said even if the visa fee is free, you still need money to purchase the ticket. So do your best and then always make sure you save towards your travel because it's not that cheap. Okay, so let's go back to this Canada thing that I was talking about, the new Canada, new pathway to Canada permanent residency that they just launched, which they are going to start opening the applications, I think, on the 27th of April 2025. Okay, so I wrote certain things down. These are the type of people, like if you find yourself in this kind of profession, you are eligible. If you are a health worker, that is, let's say, a nurse or a lab technician. When I say health workers, anything like nurses, lab technicians, you are qualified to apply. And this one is different from the nursing, the home care program, because the home care program was open to only people that was living in Canada. But this one is specifically by a certain community that is in Canada called Timmins. Yeah, it's called Timmins in Ontario. So it's basically an Ontario program. It's basically Ontario program, not the whole of Canada. So you must be ready to live in Ontario. So this is specifically for Ontario in Canada. It's not for the whole Canada. So just get it right. So if you want to go search or if you want to go and see if what I'm talking about is true, just know where I said it. It's an Ontario program, not any other province. Okay. So health nurses, when I say nurses, I mean health workers, traders. I think when I posted it on Facebook, somebody was asking me, I think people were thinking it's businessmen and businesswomen. No, this is not a businessman or businesswoman. That is the people with the handy information. It's a handy information like people with people like electricians, mechanics, like yeah, those kind of people. That's what I mean, and education too, education and social services. those people too are eligible to apply for this new PR that is happening in Ontario, that is opening in Ontario. That is, I think, 27th of April. So yes, and then natural resource and agriculture. But you can still go on on their portal. That is it means Economic Development Corporation. That is on the website. I'm going to put the website here. I'm going to put the website here so that in case you want to just find it yourself on the website, you can just check it out too. If there are more, but sometimes I cannot post everything here. So that is why sometimes I have to shorten my post because when it's long, I know most of you will not read. Yes, so I'm putting the website here. You can just take a screenshot of it in your free time so that you can also go and search if there is any kind of job category that I didn't mention it. So yes, I'm posting it here. Sure. So yes, this website, that is TMIMS Economic Development Corporation, their website. Just put this on Google or on your search. You can find all other jobs that comes and that comes with this program. And somebody will ask me, what are the requirements of this? One, you need a full-time or permanent job offer from a designated employer in this community. Those in Canada, if I mentioned that you're city wrong, pardon me and correct me. It's in this community. So yes, let me see. In this community, anyway, let me see. In this community, I don't want to mention the name wrong, and then somebody will be back there. Yes. Mhm. I hope you get it right. Yes, sir. In this community, right? Did I get the spelling wrong? Because that's not correct. Wait. Means, estimates. Yes, sure. Yes, now it's correct. Estimates. So yes, you need an employment from this designated community in Ontario. This program, as I said, is specifically for the people living in Ontario. So you need that kind of people. You need a job offer. You need a full-time job offer from this community. Any employer within this community can help you move to Canada, and you can start your application on 27th of April 2025. Yes, and you also must have at least 1 year relevant work of experience. You need 1 year work experience. Eva, yes, but I think you also need to go to the website that I just pinned there. That is this place. Okay. You need to go to this website and do your checking yourselves too. There are certain jobs that are under this program, but I can't really put everything here, or I don't really remember all. So I just provided you with the website. You can also go there yourself in your free time. Try and check if your work that you are doing is also part. Okay. Yes. And the second thing you need is the at least 1 year work experience. So when it comes to 1 year work experience, it really also matters too. So I think definitely you also need that. You also need that 1 year experience also to help you with this your program. So definitely you need to check that too. You definitely need to check that too. And you need the language, English language proficiency. I think everybody knows that too here, right? The English, and they need, or you can have it also in French. They need the CELB of 5 or higher. So if you have 6 or any other, it's not really much a problem. And then another requirement that you need is your education credentials equivalent to a Canadian high school diploma or higher. So if you have a Canadian high school equivalent diploma or higher than that too, you are eligible for this program. And sufficient proof of funds for you and your family, because with this program you can travel with your family. So they need you to prove if you can also take care of yourself and your family within the time that you arrive in Canada, because you are not going to get paid on the first month when you arrive. So definitely you need to support yourself. So that's why they need that too. So now, after this said, I think I have given you the requirements and everything you need to know about it. But now I'm going to show you how to apply this one step by step. First thing you need to do, as I already said, as part of the requirement, that you need to secure a job in that in Ontario province in the community called Timmins. So you need to secure a job, a designated employer, because it's not every employer too that falls under this category. One thing I have noticed about is like when there's ever any new pathway to residency to Canada, these agents are also smarter. Sometimes even they are always on our Facebook channels to also to read and get information and try to use it on people. And I think it's because you people don't really want to do your own research. That is why, because personally, like as I said last time, when there's anything out, I try to make my own research about it, know the details about it. So if I'm asking you questions about it or want to know more, I want to see you that you are claiming to be an agent. Do you really have up to date information to what you are giving me? That is why I always go online to do my research, even before maybe an agent will come and say, okay, this or that. So when you are coming after my research, when I'm talking with you and then you are lying, automatically I know this you are telling me is not the truth. So I don't have to deal with you no more. So you need a job, as I said. Okay, and normal circumstances, I think if I can present, but then I'll try to see if we can do the job search together and then yeah, we are waiting for Ben to join. I check my CS score. It's 3. This is I think it's low. Anyway, I'll reply the message later. So you need to secure a job. That is the most important thing. Community recommendation. Once you have your job offer, your employer will submit an application to the community recommending doing during the monthly intakes. So if you apply a job to a designated employer in the city of Timmins in Ontario, after you have secured the job, your job employer, your job employer must try to recommend you to the community so that they can put you in the intakes during it, because it's a monthly thing. It's like a new, let's say a new American lottery. But then this is done every month. This is done every month. So in this situation, when they recommend you and then it's done maybe this month, they can put you inside so that they put you into the intake or the next month. So this is something you need to also take it carefully. Applying for a permanent residency, that's the step 3. With a community recommendation, you can apply for a permanent residency through IRCC, that is the Immigration, Refugee and Citizenship Canada, for your permanent residency. They didn't say Ghana. You get it right when you are in Canada. So this is something you should really also consider, because sometimes we hear most of you, the agents tell you, oh, okay, yeah, let's get this one first, and later we get other information from this place or that place, which is not really the accurate information that sometimes they are giving you. So please make sure you do your very best in trying to apply for anything. Yeah. So these are all the information that you will need to know about the new Canada, new Ontario uh, immigration program that is happening on the 27th of April. So with this information, hi Aisha, with this information, please do not go pay money to anybody. Sometimes I wish I have enough time to reply everybody's message. But your messages can be also be replied sometimes through these kind of things on my live sections too, because most of the time I don't even really have much time to go through my messages. That is another problem too with me. because sometimes I have to work, sometimes I have to go to the gym, sometimes I have to travel. Unfortunately, next week I'll be traveling, so I don't think next weekend, we will be having any Facebook Live or YouTube Live, because next week I'll be traveling to Austria and then I'll be back after the Easter celebration. So next week we are not going to have any Facebook Live session. So yes, I just spoke with Ben and then he told me he's joining now. So before Ben joins, please do your best to share and invite your friends, because this American lottery is a lot of people that took part in it, and then they don't even know what it takes, because all they hear was like, oh, there's an American lottery. Everybody is applying. So I also need to apply. You need to apply, but you must know what to do next if you win. Because if you are late and didn't get your appointment, you can never move to America, and that is the secret too. So please do your best. Invite other people to join, and then share this live feed into your groups, into your pages or whatever, so that any other people also can join. I saw a comment from someone that was asking if I can do the video in a local language so that he can share onto his page. But unfortunately, today I was checking on my YouTube, and I think after Ghana, my second highest viewers on YouTube is from the United States. I think Ben has joined, so let me add him and then we can start. Yes, sure. Hello, Ben. Welcome.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah, so I think the last time we wanted to do the same program, but unfortunately, some people from the Facebook were not getting the video. So today we decided to do it on YouTube and then stream live it on the Facebook page for anybody that
Okay,
wants to join. So once again,
okay,
I would say thank you for accepting to join us this evening.
okay.
Yes, so viewers, this is Benjamin, and he is a winner from the DV lottery that most of you are in Ghana that did. But he got being so good, he was lucky to win, and he was able to prepare his documents to move. So finally, like, yeah, eventually after some years now, he's living in America. And then, yeah, as you know. So, Ben, what do you have for us for today?
Well, I just want to say thank you very much for giving me the platform. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to at least share my insight about this whole DV library thing. So yeah, pretty much I just want to say I think I applied my it wasn't me that applied, so my uncle who is based in the US applied for me, I think in 2016, and the results came in 2017. So once the results came in that I won, then my uncle had to give me the information. Then we had to start we fill out once you win the application, the form that you got to fill. After that, then I filled it up. Then we submitted. Then I think an interview date was given. So bear in mind, during that time, the interview process was straightforward. It wasn't like how it is now. Like once you win, you get in an interview date. It was easy. You're going to do it in Ghana with no hassle. So that's the issue I want to put across now. And like my process, the whole thing, it's kind of, let's say, different as I was trying to tell you the last time. They review the process, they review the application year in, year out. So what I remember was 2016. What I remember was I just had to give my uncle my passport picture. Now, one thing I just want to put across to anybody who wants to do it is we should pay much attention to our picture quality, our passport picture quality. It's very important because you don't want to use a normal picture, then use photo shoots to just try to edit to America. No, once you do that, it reduces the picture quality. So let's pay attention to that. So once here, I did that. Then once the results came in, I was scheduled to go do police report. I went to the police headquarters. I did police report. Then I went to archive. Yeah, I went to archive for my medical. I think Holy Trinity archive, one of those things. So then once here,
So, Ben, let's take it this way. So
okay,
you did it in 2016, and your uncle did it for you in the US,
correct,
right?
correct.
Okay. So first, my first question is like, there's a notion that people has to apply it. People that get to somebody in America to do it for them has priority. when it comes
No,
to the win. Is it really true though?
no, it's not really true that. But I have a friend of mine who applied in Ghana and won. So pretty much this whole thing is more of like a lottery. So let's say it's based on the Americans, like they have their own quota system. So maybe they are going to say this year we're going to issue about 2,000 visas. But then the quota, based on the application that comes in, you might give Ghana, let's say 50 quota. You might give US. So it's all depending on the application that comes in. But I don't think it's dependent on your location. So it really doesn't really matter. Wherever you are, you could apply. Like it's lottery. You could win, you could lose. So that notion, I don't think is even right in the first place.
Okay, so this also takes me to the second question, and my second question is like, can you take us through the steps that you, even though probably I think you just mentioned a few, can you please take us
Sure.
through the doc? First, I think is the first is the document that will be required. Oh
So
no,
another
first we go
thing,
to the steps, and then we know the documents required. Yeah.
okay, so first of all, before I even continue, I just want to bring this thing out. I think we have to, once you make up your mind now, I think for this year, one second, for this year, they're going to open the portal in October. So it starts from October 2nd to November 7th. Now for this year. So if you want to apply, you have to now use this time to now gather your documents you want to use. Okay. Now we have to pay much attention to this thing. If you are single, you are single. If you are married and it's a customary marriage, can you please try? Because you tell me you are married. Now, one thing Americans, if you are doing this whole process, they want documentation. If you tell the
Yeah.
person I'm married, what shows you are married? So let's say if you are married to somebody, and you know how our customary marriage is, we don't have no document, but at least you could just go to your
Supplementary.
municipal, your sub metro to even let them give you a marriage certificate. It's going to be counted. Now, once you if you want to go as married, that's fine. So once you have this document there, now to the whole process is once they open the portal, there are certain questions you have to apply, you have to answer. Now those questions varies. They have educational requirements, they have job experience requirement, and they have your marital status. Those are these things that we have to look out for. So if you tell me you're educated, now, in as much as every lottery or every application has a requirement, I think this one, the minimum they look out for is a
High school.
high
I
school
think.
qualification. Now, nevertheless, even if you didn't go to high school, but you've had some apprenticeship qualification for this amount of years, let's pay attention that you have to tell, how do you call it, your boss.
Yeah.
We don't pay much attention to, but there should be some kind of documentation to show that I've worked in this, let's say, this shop for 10 years. If the boss cannot do it, at least get somebody who is more educated to just have that documented for you, because you didn't go to school, but you have some kind of work experience.
Yeah.
It's going to count. So let's put that one aside. Now, another thing you also have to pay attention to. Listen, it happened to, I'm a Ghanaian, first of all. I was a Ghanaian. Okay, I am a Ghanaian. I was born in Ghana, but now I'm not. So now, let's get this thing. We pay attention to our name. It's very important. How we spell our name, how our names are arranged, piece is very, very important. So if I'm like, I just have two names, so just first name and surname, that is fine. But people have, let's say, compound names. We should know how that name is arranged. So let's say your name is Nana Kofi Bafo. Now, if on your birth cert is done Nana Bafo Kofi, it's not you, it's a different person. Things we've not paid at. Sometimes people win the lottery.
Yeah,
People win.
I'm sorry to cut you or chip something in, but sometimes when people reach out to me and then, oh, I did everything right, and like I always tell them, you didn't do nothing right, bro. Like, because if you did everything right, you can do everything right. I understand and still get refused, but there are some petty mistakes that when you do, you don't even realize it. Even the spelling of the name when it
Correct.
mixes, I think before you used to can go back to correct your DS 160 forms when you have done it and filled it and submitted to the US embassy. But now, when you even make a mistake with the date, it's instead of 13 and you write 31, you have to go start a whole new DS 160, book a new appointment so that you make sure the barcode matches with the old one. So sometimes people are like, oh, we do everything correct, even with the documentation. Like, really, some most important thing in it, because I remember I went through this process too. What the lawyer told me was like, we need we need a chat between you, probably, and your partner, or if you have kids, we need family photos. That these are certain things that is the really petty things that will make your application stand out, and not even any allow officer to doubt your application.
Correct.
Because if you just present just a mere marriage certificate, I don't think it's enough.
No, no.
Try to prove yourself beyond reasonable doubt. That's why I always tell people. They be like, oh, I submitted marriage certificate, I submitted a case birth certificate. Where are the pictures? What shows you have case? Even in as much as the certificate shows, pictures will have to clear all doubts around that specific thing.
Correct.
So sometimes, like, there are certain things we need to we forget to do. And one thing is the most important thing is what you're talking about: how we arrange our names on our passport into filling our forms.
So you know what? If you don't want, let me chip in this then. We don't need to like for I'm like at this issue, because Ghana, we take everything as it is. Okay. Oh, it's me. Oh yeah, it's me. It's me. You're right, that's true. But you are trying to apply into somebody's country.
Perfect.
That person, they have their own systems of arrangement. No, it's high time. I tell my friends, it's high time. Once you want to do that thing, make sure you conform with what they require from you. I used to tell my friends, once you win, let's say it's like you are 90% of getting your visa. Once you win, let's say they tell you congratulations, you've won. And 90 to 95% that you are getting a visa. Reason being that is the 5% is solely dependent on you. When you're filling the application, the name that you use, does it correspond with your birth certificate? Okay.
And even with your passport, because sometimes I think I have problem. People like the name on their passport is
It's
different from
different.
the name on their birth certificate.
And another thing, if you tell the person, and if somebody is going to apply for you, please make sure you go through before the person submits. People have had issues with, well, I didn't go to university, but I went to high school. But when the person was applying, the person chose the university degree. Once you do that, if you are going for the interview, they want to see your university certificate. That is key. So in as much as sometimes, even if you don't have the time, please and please again, once the person is done applying, can you please go through it and make the necessary corrections? Because it's lottery. You never know. You might win, you might not win. So once you win and now they expect you to provide all this documentation, where are you going to get it from?
Yeah.
So let's please listen. As I said, it's between 95 to like 90 to 95%. Like once you win, you're going to get a visa. Now, another thing I want to run you through the process. So every year they review the process. So for my time, what we did, once you're done with your medical, you're done with your police report, or I think the medical that the hospital sends it to the embassy direct. You don't hold it to you don't send it to your interview. But for your police report, you go take it out. But mind you, you do not open it. You do not tamper with the envelope. Just submit it as it was given to you to the embassy.
I
Another
hope you
thing,
guys are
so
taking note, because even personally, I didn't know you have to open it too. So
no, you
please,
don't have to. You don't have to. You do not
just
have to
take good.
tamper. You do not have
Yeah,
to tamper with it, because once you
most people
tamper with
really
it,
also don't know.
you're out. It means in their mind you forge something on it. So once you submit it, then you just wait for interview day. Interview day now. You have to. For me, what I was told, try and get there early. I don't know
Yeah.
what technique is that, but once you get there early, maybe it gives you the opportunity or gives you the time for you to go for interview early, and you're out. Interview day, once you are going, make sure all documents that you put in, i.e. your birth certificate, your passport, all your educational certificate, and all your job, let's say your job duties, that you have one in one envelope and hold that with you. And once you enter, another thing, I think once you are scheduled for an interview, they might give you the visa fee, the amount is expected for you to have. Either two ways, either you get the dollar equivalent, or you're going to, if you have the dollar, or you're going to get the CD equivalent of that on you. You don't pay to nobody. So once you have it, once you enter, they tell you you have your seat. Once you sit down, then they're going to call you, go to a cashier in there to go make your payment. Once you make that payment, they're going to give you a receipt. Keep that receipt, because once the person interview calls you, that's going to be the first thing they're going to require from you. Evidence to show that you've paid for your visa fee. Once you show them that evidence, now guess what? All documents, they're going to expect you to provide your education certificate, your birth. You give it to them, both original and photocopy if you have it. Then you're going to run through it and give you your original copy back. That is my process. When I don't know how the process is now. If you are fortunate, and once they check everything, it was basic questions. For me, I was not asked much questions. Where did you go to school? What year did you complete? Who are you going to? Is the person excited of getting to see you? Then she said, congratulations. So there again, I said, another thing. I was given this, I was told, once you go there, don't be too aggressive, loosen up. Don't be too, you are strict, you are rigid, no, just loosen up. Hey, you've not done anything wrong. You have your documents. If you are communicating with them, smile. Have the eye-to-eye contact with them, because you are not going to hide nothing. Be clear in your communication. Be clear in your communication. And if by one or two reasons you can't express yourself in English, let them know, hey, I can't express myself in English. I want to speak my local dialect. They're going to have somebody there to help you out. So for my process, once you are done and they take your passport, it means congratulations, you are going to get a visa. Then they give you, I was given a form to go online. I think form to go online to schedule your passports are picking up from DHL, correct? So once you do that, now mind you, once you are given that paper, I'm talking for my process. What happened was there's another link at the back. You need to now log on to that link to now create your social security account. For my process, for my time, that's what happened. So ordinarily, if you want to get your green card early before you get here, you're going to make that green card. And another thing, you are going to pay for your green card fee. You are going to buy your own ticket. There is no free house for nobody. No. That misconception that, once I win lottery, they are going to give me free job. They are going to give me free house. Please, no.
Oh, I was even about to ask you that question, because there is a notion that, okay, when you win the lottery, you get a free house and then you get a free ticket. And even people think after winning, the whole conception about this thing that people really don't understand is they think once you apply and it's free, when you win too, it's free.
No.
Automatically you are going to America.
No, it's not. No, it's not. That's what I'm telling you. So once you win, between 90 to 95% chance of you going to get a visa. Now the 5 or the 10% is solely dependent on you, how you comport yourself when you went for the interview, the document that you submitted. So that's the 10%. So once you win, that's it. Then the visa, I think it's a 6 months duration period. If you don't enter America between these 6 months, it means you've lost your chance. You can't enter America again. So that's
somebody is asking, do you need someone there after winning the lottery?
Definitely, because definitely you need to, because guess what? They should have a physical address in America to send all your green card and your social security card to the address. So definitely once you win, you should be able to have an address in here. That one for sure. You should do that. That one for sure, yes.
Okay, so
So another
somebody's
thing, another before I chip in. So once you win, and I think once you go to, there was a document that I got either from the embassy or from DHL when I was going for my passport. That document you don't open till you get to your point of entry in America. I think now they've changed they changed the whole process. But as I tell you, they review their process. But I'm talking about my experience. So pretty much that document, what it was in was my fingerprints, my bio details, and everything. It was in that document. But now I understand they've changed the whole process. They don't bring nothing. But at any point in time you are given something, do not open till you get to the point of entry in America, not any other country.
so somebody's asking, what if you don't know anybody there?
It's advisable. That's why we network. Reach out to somebody on social media. Hey, listen, I've won the lottery. That's what social media is about. We network. In as much as the person might not necessarily be your friend, but through somebody. But you should get somebody. You should have a physical address in America, because if not, where are they going to mail your green card to? Where are they going to mail your social security card to? So pretty much you should have an address.
Okay, Nana, please ask if you are asked what you intend to do when you get to the USA. What's the best answer to this question?
Wait,
Inshiraba, I think this your question probably will not be specifically about this
all right.
DV lottery, probably on a
Yeah.
visit visa you are talking about. So
B1,
you
B2,
need to
yes.
specify because there is every answer, there is a different answer to every question that an immigration visa person want to ask you. Because like somebody going on a green card, like on a lottery, yeah, I think this question wouldn't be necessarily asked though, because yeah, sure. Nana, please, the question if you have relatives. Nana, wait. Nana, please, with the question, does your relatives happy to see you? What was the response? Yeah, the person is asking when the officer asks you,
Mhm.
is your relative happy that you have won the lottery? What was your response?
Yeah, I'm like I told the officer, I'm like, my family are really, they are really excited waiting for me, and it's like, oh, okay, I'm happy for you, then congratulations. So pretty much it's nothing like that question. Even if I answered in the negative
Hi,
way,
Koku, welcome.
it was never going to affect the chances. But the key thing is, the motive behind that question is so then they know whether you have somebody who's going to host you.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the motive behind that.
Yeah, I always tell people, America sometimes, most times, don't really go through your documents, but then they have the way of asking you questions that will make them know whether the documents you are holding or whatever information that you are giving them is right.
Correct.
Because imagine in this case, you feel that you have somebody there, and then now they are asking you, "Oh, are your relatives happy?" And you tell them, "No, I don't have no relative there." That is the straight denial.
Correct.
So sometimes, in as much as they don't really ask the questions like out the documents, they have the way of getting the information they want from you. So you always have to, as somebody also told me, it's always the smartest people that get the visa always. That's it. Yeah. Because if you go and maybe you just don't give them the right answer that they want from you, of course, definitely they cannot give you the visa. In as much as probably you took all the documents with you. And when they are interviewed they don't even allow you, apart from the DV, with the visit visa, they don't even allow you to give them your documents.
Oh,
They don't even allow you to give them the documents. You can take a pamphlet like this, but nobody's going to ask you. They want to interact with you and then try to see if whatever information that you are giving them is correct. So yes, William, I think it was from your network because yeah, we are here. The address is very important because I didn't get correct address. So then my agent provided an address which the embassy in Ghana told me the address provided doesn't exist. The owner is dead. You
oh,
see that?
before I just want to give heads up. So the day I went for my interview,
Yeah.
somebody, if like a guy that I was sitting right to got denied. You know why?
Yeah.
He didn't fill the application himself. Somebody filled it out for me. Guess so the person said the education level was a university degree. The
Yeah.
person said no. So they asked, say, can I have your university degree? No, I
Yeah.
don't have. I have HND.
That is misinformation, and then automatically they're going to deny you. That is why I always advise you guys that even if somebody does the application for you, it's not much a problem. But make sure you go through the application yourself. Make sure you know the information the person used, because when you reach the port of entry, the person that filled your application form is not there to answer questions for you. It's you and the CBP officer. Is the only two of you that are going to answer your question. Even if you are going as a couple, they take each passport separately, even though you be in one same counter at the CBP in America, at the POE in America. They will take your as couples. They will take your passport together. So you have to answer your questions too. The fact that you are going with your husband or your wife doesn't mean, oh, he answers the questions for you. That's why I always recommend you guys, even if somebody fill your visa form for you, no problem. Get the information the person used. Because if you contradict yourself, it's straight denial. And
Correct.
one thing I want you guys to also understand is like, having a visa doesn't guarantee that you are going to enter America. Believe me. Right at the port of entry, if the CBP officer think that the information you are giving him is not accurate based on the DS-160 or DS-260 they have on their computer, automatically they return you on the same flight that you came with. They don't care how many hours, they just give you back to the airline. Come take this person back. So always do make sure you have. Somebody's asking, do they need a bank statement for the DV?
Truth be told, as I told you, for my time, no, no bank statement. And I don't know, not nobody like 2 years ago, my friend that went, he never told me about no bank statement. So on
Yeah, I
behalf,
don't. Okay.
no banks, I think bank statement always applies to the B1, B2
The
visa, but
B1,
for
B2, and the F visas, and then
yeah,
HB visas, something
yeah.
like that.
So for
Please,
the
I want to know
lottery,
if
no.
any have presented original. Somebody wants to know if they have to present the original certificate or photocopy
I
for
advise
school.
you prevent both, you present both because they might want to double check certain things, but just prevent a copy and original. You just can't prevent the photocopy. No, just present two.
Yeah, I believe. What if I don't have a family member there, but a friend? Yes, it's still
Yes,
okay. Just give the
yes.
friend's address, and then yeah, sure. Just let them know you don't have a family, but it's a friend that. When you go for a visa interview, don't try to explain long for things that they haven't asked you. They don't have 15 minutes for you alone. You just have 5 or 10 minutes, max 10 minutes. So just make your statement short and then give only important informations. There is an interview. You're not chatting with your friend. So just make it formal, give short answers to just save yourself from a lot of complications or complicating yourself, because when you talk too much, you come around in the same point and even don't make any sense. So please just also get this one. Yes, Ben, I think I wouldn't hold much of your time. And if you have any question, please just drop your question. And then I didn't know all this when I won in 2017. Yes, Mohammed. Yeah, now probably I hope you did it this last year again, and probably in May when the results are out, God being so good, maybe you can win. So now you know this information. Yes. What level of education? Yeah, they need a high school diploma. Okay, Babam Usa. Yes, it's a high school diploma that they need. So before you apply, you need it. Now, I think in Ben's time, you needed a passport before you can apply, but now you don't need a passport
No,
when you're applying.
my time
Mhm.
you needed a passport after you won,
Okay, okay, then it's still the same then.
but I think somewhere along the line, I think 2 or 3 years ago, you need a passport before you could apply. So as I told you, every year they review
I think last year you didn't need a passport before you apply. So most applications that I did for people, they had to only send me their
biodata.
passport pictures. No, not even their bio picture, passport picture, and then you apply, and then yeah, that was it.
Okay.
Somebody is asking, does age matter?
No, no,
Okay, all right,
no.
Cynthia, your question has been answered. Hi, Gloria, do you have any question? Yes, because we are wrapping up soon because Ben is a very busy man. Then I wouldn't want to keep much of his time. He made mention of arrangement of name. Should my Christian name count? No, this question he cannot answer because you arrange it based on what is in your passport.
Correct.
Check your birth certificate, check your passport,
And
and
another
let them
thing,
respond.
now before I proceed, it doesn't necessarily or let's say if you arrange it according to your birth certificate and passport, and the one in your school, all your school certificates are not the same. So this thing, it's high time we pay attention to that. If let's
Yeah.
say I start with this name arrangement throughout my education, it should go in that way. But hey, sometimes people, it's when it comes to the name arrangement stuff, you might be lucky, you might not be lucky, but just make sure it goes according. If you let's say you have your school documents, your
Yeah.
passport, and your birth cert, all these three arranged in that order, and just one of your document, they're going to consider that that's you. But let's say if all four documents of you, the names are rearranged, mixed up, that's not you. So let's pay attention to that.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Yes. Okay. Yes. And as I already told you on my page, I think when they are going to release the result, I think next month, that is on the, I think on the third or fifth, one of those. But
Let
I
me
know
confirm. I think it starts on May 4th to May 30th.
May 4th to May 30th. So
No,
yes,
to
sure.
May
I
4th to
think
September 30th. So you have from May 4th to the September 30th to check.
yeah. So I will be here to teach you guys how to check it yourself. If the most important is you need to have your confirmation code
Correct.
that they send you.
Oh,
So
another thing. Sorry,
mhm.
before I let you go of you. Now, the once you win and you fill it, what's the document, the forms that you fill and you
DS
submit
260, I think. Yeah.
for the 260. Please again make sure either you print copy or you save your answers given somewhere. Because guess what? Once you enter this country, all information provided must be same throughout. Because if you can't tell them if you are filling the DS260, you tell my mother was born in March 12th,
Yeah.
1987. Then you got your visa. You've come in here. Then you want to go apply for something for your mother. Then you change your mother's date of birth or name arrangement. So make sure it's not. I still have copies of mine here all this while. So make sure you try as much as possible to have copies of the answers given them. It's going to go a long way to help you.
Yeah. Somebody is asking, do you have to get a return ticket when you have your DV lottery visa?
No,
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 you don't need a visa.
no,
Okay.
you don't. No, no.
Yeah, I think I wanted to ask one question
But hey,
before.
that one is solely dependent because some people one. You know what? Technically, let's say that give or take like 2 months time, I'm going to get my green card. And once I get my green card, I want to still go back to Ghana to go sort one or two things out. So, or give yourself 3 months. After the 3 months, I want to go back. Always know once you have a green card, you're a permanent resident. You are not supposed to be out of America for more than 6 months.
Okay, so another question I want to ask is, I think I've forgotten the question again. It skipped me and then it came back and it skipped me again. But I think maybe I'm gonna try to remember. Okay, so after getting your green card, now you are
Correct.
in America. You are in America. What
Correct.
next? In finding job, finding, yeah.
Listen, it's solely dependent on you because now you're in the system. If you are fortunate to get somebody who's going to guide you through, if you are young or even if you are an adult, you're going to get some people want to go to school. So solely another thing before you come in, you should have a plan you want to work with. I just want okay, yeah, my plan is I'm going to work, no school. Some people's plan is, you know what, I'm going to come in, go to school for some couple of months, then start work. So how you want to plan your life in here. So once you have your green card now, you are in the system.
So because back then we used to have the notion, oh, when you win American lottery, when you go, the government give you job, the government give you a
No,
house.
no. I'm sorry, that is a lie. It's never the truth. It's a lie. So one is like, yeah, a permanent resident. Like, there's no free house for you, please. There's no free job for you, please. And there's no free car for you. Everything you want to accomplish, everything you want to achieve is solely dependent on your effort and how you want to shape your life. Please, that notion, it's a lie.
All right. So, what also have you heard about the DV lottery that you want to ask? So, I'm waiting for your comments. I think we got like 5 minutes, then we are done with this live session. So, if you have a comment, please drop it in the comment box, and then I ask it for you. Kweku, your question has been overruled. I'm not going to answer your question. Somebody also said, I beg Kweku, drop that your girlfriend. It's okay. Yes. So, if you have a question, you can just drop it too, and
And
then
now,
we have.
whilst we wait for the question to come in, yeah, I think some thought keeps coming in as and when. So
Okay.
now, let's say you win when you are applying for your lottery. You told the person you didn't have no kid. That is fine.
Yeah.
But once you win, and let's say during that moment you had a baby, or during that moment you got married, make sure if you are applying for your DS260, you have to include it on your application. Because the time you applied, you were not married. You didn't have no
Yeah.
kid. Now that you've won, there's new change of events in your life. Make sure it's there. Let them know, okay, now I have a baby, this is my baby's name. I have a wife, this is my wife's name. Now, any information you provide, make sure you have documents to support it.
Yeah. I got it. I got it. So, yes, as you guys have heard, I think today we have been blessed with so much information that even I myself I didn't know, because usually people think, oh, when you win, it's automatic, and then when you win, you get a job directly. When you win, you're gonna go to and get a house over there. When you win, we didn't know you have to go through another struggle too to get this whole thing.
Yeah,
So yeah,
so it's not a struggle, but it's like now you're trying to now adapt and now integrate into the system. It's not a struggle, but let's say the integration process might take some time. But
mhm.
hey, listen, it's a new country on its own, have their
Yeah,
own,
sure.
yeah.
So with the notion of you thinking when you apply for American lottery and it's free, please, it's not free. Get yourself some money, because even if you pay for a visa fee and it's approved and everything, you still need money for tickets too. So please try and just get ready for it. I always recommend people to gather the documents. Like, the most important document I want you to gather now is your school certificate, your marriage certificate, your birth certificate, your passport, your police report, and also get ready that you are going to pay for your medical fee. It's all for free.
Yo, medical, I don't know, but medical, during the whole process, it was the medical that was like costly. I don't know the cost now, but during my
Yeah,
time, all the process that I went through, police report was okay. But for
yeah.
the medic, if I remember, I paid over 1,500 that time.
Yeah, so yeah, definitely you need money. You need money to facilitate all this. And even paying for your medicals, even paying for your visa too. I think it's around something thereabout.
Visa is $185 for the visa, $185. So you're gonna do depending on that day, the interbank rate that they have,
Mhm.
you're gonna pay the CD equivalent, or if you have the dollars, you're gonna pay the dollars at the cashier once you enter there.
Mhm. In dollars. In dollars, you said.
One eighty
In
five,
U-
$185, $185.
okay, okay. So I'm just trying to get the money that you're supposed to get
No,
back in.
you can't do it now because if you give the people the CD equivalent now, guess what? By the time is up, the CD might have depreciated or appreciated, so it might not be like. But then let's let them know is, oh, okay, I've just been corrected that now it's 330.
It's 330, right?
Yeah, it's three
All
thirty.
right, cool. So, as I said, these are the documents you need to start gathering now. Just put in your mind that, as Ben said, you are going to fill your DS260. DS260 is different from DS160. DS160 is for the people that are going to apply for the student's visa and for visit visa for medical purposes. These people use that DS260. So in case you win and you are going to apply, bear in mind that your when you go on the CAEC portal, what you are going to find there is the you are going to search is your DS-260 form. Don't choose DS-160
Oh,
because
but I think you don't need to. Once you win, the
Mhm.
congratulation message email that you get, the link that you're clicking is going to send it to the form direct. So you don't need to go search.
All right, all right.
So yeah, once they send you the congratulation email, the link that they provide is going to send you straight to the place and start filling up. So, and you could, if you don't have all the information at once,
Mhm.
you could do and save and continue later. So
Ah,
pretty
now I
much.
think they have canceled that system.
Oh boy. Then hey
I
then
think they have canceled
wow.
that system. I
So
think because
once you go in,
even
you should do
before you could
everything.
even submit, before you
Mm-hmm,
could even submit your DS-160 or DS-260, and later when you go through it again after submitting and thinking, oh, something is wrong,
mm-hmm,
you can just go back there, put in your confirmation code, and then
mm-hmm,
ask the security answer your security question,
mm-hmm.
and then it will log in there. But now the system has changed, I think, from this April too.
So
So
once you enter, you can't exit. So once I'm in, I should fill everything, then go
yeah,
out.
under normal circumstance, probably when you are filling the form, but I mean, once you submit it to them,
Okay.
that's the end. Because now, before you could just even schedule an appointment and try to change the date, but now when you want to schedule an appointment and use a different one, make sure you have to also, when you find a fault on your distance, you need to make sure the DS-160 or DS-260 barcode correspond with the one that you use to fill to book your US appointment date.
Wow.
For me personally, I think it's in a good direction because most of these agents
Mm-hmm.
used to always try to get the date and then resell it to people. So now, if they can't sell it to you again because like probably they filled it with their own DS-160
Correct.
and they gave them a different barcode to use it to book the appointment. Fine.
Okay.
If you want to sell it to me again now, you can. I cannot use your barcode because that is your information.
Correct.
So I cannot use it. So I think now these people are very getting smarter with these our things because like they know how the system works back there. So they are now trying to make sure they correct everything and make sure everything is in order.
Yeah.
So I think
Also,
it's in the right direction.
yeah, I think it's a good. And another thing, I just wanted to. So once you come in here, now, just so you know, you are not what you have. Once you get your green card, the green card is a permanent resident. You are not a citizen. Let's get that thing. There's a difference between a citizen and a green card holder. So let's say if you are filling a job application and they ask you your status, do not go choose US citizen.
Yeah.
Once you do that, not now, but years down the line, it
Mhm.
might be perjury and you're
Yeah.
going to have legal issues. So make sure once you come in as a DV lottery winner, you are going to be a permanent resident,
Yes.
please, because people have had issues along the line. Well, you lied that you're a citizen whilst you're not a citizen. So if you are selecting for a job and they're going to ask you your status, you're going to be a permanent resident, not a US citizen. You only be eligible for US citizen after 5 years if you do not go to Ghana. Now, if you go to Ghana frequently on your green card, it means you are prolonging the number of time you are waiting to become a US citizen.
Oh, really?
Yes, you should be in the country. I think for 5 years. So they have a number of days that they calculate, but you should not. If you let's say you have 5 years now, if you go to Ghana for 3 months, so it's going to be
Mhm.
5 years, 3 months for you to become a US citizen. If you go
Mhm.
to Ghana another 3 months, so it's going to be 5 years, 6 months. So they're going to take the number of days you spend in America
Mhm.
for you to become a citizen. You are supposed to be a permanent resident in that country for a certain number of time. Now, if
Mhm.
that time is not up, you can't apply to become a US citizen.
Yeah. So as we are talking, I'm trying to also upload all the documents they need to get start putting them together.
Okay.
It's the yes, that's the passport. education. So I'm trying to write it so that I post it, and then
Okay, no problem.
they can also take a screenshot of it
Correct.
and then start working it because as your time, as you said, getting an appointment date was easy.
It was easy. It was. I
It's
didn't
not
have.
difficult.
I think I had the first. I made it when I got my first date. Then how to change it. It was easy, but now they said getting appointment date is the hassle now. So maybe, just maybe,
Yeah.
you might want to check your luck also. But I believe Ghana. Yeah, once you get your date in Ghana, it's going to be much better. Oh, another thing before I proceed, make sure you do not alter any of your education document. Please, please, please. Make sure you do not alter any of your education documents.
All
I
right. I
don't
hope you are
know.
taking note, guys.
I don't know. For some funny reason, be able to authenticate. You might have all your things right, but once you alter your education certificate, it's a no-no for them.
Yes. So I think I'm almost done, and then yeah, sure. And one thing I also need to say here is like, if you applied and then you did it for your wife, or you did it for your girlfriend, or you did it for your kids, when you are filling your DS260 form, everybody needs their own DS260 form.
Correct.
So please do not forget. So these are the main important documents that we will be going to use. So just go through it, and then the DS260 is not now. That is after you win. But make sure you have your passport, you have your birth certificate, you have your education certificate, and then when you win, I think it doesn't take much long to get your police clearance form in Ghana.
No, it
So
doesn't take
yeah,
that
you
much.
can
Yeah.
just do that too. But the birth certificate, education certificate, because sometimes people complain in getting their birth certificate even after paying for express service. So
Yeah.
please make sure you have it intact. If you don't have it, start calling the person that is doing it for you. Does it mean they verify your education certificate? Ben, somebody's asking.
I'm just trying to play the devil's advocate. Yes, they do. And like for you might think, but for the SS one, fast they're able to determine whether it's fake or so for that one I don't know for a fact, but I
Yeah.
think my instinct tell because once you hand in the document for the education one, they're able to give it to one of their clerks, and
Mhm.
the person goes back to either double check or check, then comes back again. So for that one, yes, they're able to verify that. So please make sure you do not, please.
Does lamination of the certificate also mean you have altered it?
No, 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 no. Lamination is just to keep it safe, so it doesn't. No, it does not affect that. No.
And I think Baba Musa I think the minimum education requirements are, I think, the high school diploma, right?
Yeah, high school, correct. High
Yeah.
school.
So
Yeah.
Baba Musa, you need a high
Oh,
school diploma
another thing. I think
or
some.
a
I think.
GED.
Yeah, but I think another thing I want to just how do you call it? Bring your minds to. So recently, a friend of mine, who you know, Patrick,
Yeah.
he raised an issue about a person who went for the interview, and the person was denied the visa because the person failed his English. So the issue is why, like, I think people, when I went to the comment section, people are just trying why they should, why didn't they mention it when I was applying? Even in Ghana, if you want to apply for SS and you don't get your EMS, English, Maths, and Science, if you don't pass, you don't get no admission, correct, to go to university. We are all going by that logic and by that same standard. EMS, the English, Maths, and
Math and
Science.
science.
Please, and guess what? Once you win this year, you have a year for you to go for your interview. So even if you failed, you have the opportunity of trying to do NOVDEC to better your grades. The reason is you need some basic form, at least the EMS. Even if you don't pass, you'll be able to communicate, be able to understand certain things. So I believe per the analogy and the logic I got why the person was denying the visa, I'm sure it was based on that thing that once you failed, you can't go into university in Ghana. So naturally, you can also not get a visa. But people are complaining that why didn't they mention in their requirement? Please, it's a general rule. It might not be a general rule, but for English, maths, and science, we ought to have some
Yeah.
good grades. Please, thank you.
So yes, I think I need to go through the whole steps of the DV lottery again. That's the
Okay,
step
now,
one.
okay, so that's
Is
step one. Can we go through? So
yes,
that's
I think yeah,
step one is you applying.
perfect.
Now, the step two is you have to wait when the results comes in and you win. Then you fill up the DS 260 form. That's the step two. Now, the step three is you have to wait for them to acknowledge that they've received it.
Yeah,
Now, step four is that's the time you're going to schedule for your interview date. Now, step three has subsets. Step three, once they acknowledge once you book your interview date, that's when you're going to do your medical police report. Now, step four, once you go for step four is interview. So that after the interview, you submit all your documents, submit to do. Then step five is if you are congratulations, if you're a winner, then they take your passport. Now, step five is to go to DHL to go take your passport. Now, step six is you book your ticket. Step seven, you book your ticket, you get onto your flight, you come land in USA. Step eight, step seven, do not open any document they are given until you get to point of entry in America.
hope you're listening, right? So yes, I think what if you don't have any family? How do you tackle the accommodation? I think you were late. I think Christine, you were late. But anyway, you need to get a friend, or you need to reach out to your social media friend and explain the situation to him or her, just to host you so that you can get your green card and then try to start to find the work and do. Nevertheless, you still can try to have money on you and try to book an Airbnb or a hotel. Like, sometimes it happens because in Switzerland, one thing I know is like, it's difficult to find the house here. Sometimes when I hear people saying, okay, yeah, Switzerland, the houses are expensive. Yeah, it is. But people that are holding 2,500, 2,600, 2,400, and not even getting a house to rent. So as I said, most of them, because if you are from even from Germany and you are coming to live here, you need to prove with them that you have an accommodation because before they give you a permit because they are not part of your your Schengen zone, your European Union. I mean, so there are certain things that they have some.
Oh, another thing, before I think you made a statement, so if you tell me, I don't think it's something we should try and let's say let people try because people might have issues. If you win, don't look at the Airbnb option.
Okay.
Reason being that is now any this country we all go by the mailing system. So your name will not be on the Airbnb leasing agreement or the names of people who live in that address. Now, if you use that Airbnb address and the person deliver your mail gets there, the person says, I don't know, this name is not familiar to me. You're not going to get it. So it's that money that you're going to use for your Airbnb. Our advice, use that money to pay somebody who's like a physical address and let that person put you on his or her, let's say, occupant in that room. So then you'll be able to get your green card for the time being and you move out. But for Airbnb routes, no. Every
But
house,
here, I think is done here. So like, yeah, you can just
okay.
rent the Airbnb so that and the person is going to be aware. It's not that is
No,
it.
no, no, not two ways about it, but the person being aware is not the person who's going to deliver your social.
Yeah,
Is the male person who brings it to you. So the male person, they know the name of the people because it's their job. Then
yeah,
so once they get here, this name it's not them. People think, oh, this person is using this one for fraud.
that's
So
true.
let's just to avoid all this, and the more you do, it's going to waste your waiting period for you to get a green card. So just to avoid all
Because you
this,
can't receive your letters and then they're going to send it back to the
that's the thing. So it's
Department of
advisable.
Homeland Security Services. So
It's
yeah.
advisable that at least we are on social media. You're going to network. At least tell the person, hey, you know what? It's going to be for maximum 3 months. I'm going to pay something whilst you host me for this period. Let the person know. I don't know nobody here, but this is my money. At least I'll be able to pay something to support you throughout this period. And can you please put me on your mailbox name so I'll be able to just receive it? Once you receive it, you could go anywhere you want to go. Now,
And
once you
then
get it,
at that
you
time,
now
you'll
be
be
able to
working, so you can have some pay stubs also
that
to prove you
that's the
get your
thing.
own.
So
Okay.
it's for Airbnb routes. I would not. I don't think it might be because it might they might mail it in. The person said, yeah, maybe Airbnb. The host says no, or the mail person says this name that is not familiar. They return it back. Then you
Yeah.
call them, hey, I live here. That kind of is going to delay you. So just to avoid all this back and forth thing, I believe you just have to find a host. Tell the person, hey, you know what? I'm going to be here for 2 months. I'll try and pay something to you monthly. Yeah, I think that's going to be fine. Yeah,
All right. All right. So, Christine, I hope your question is answered, right? Yeah. So that's why sometimes I want to bring people that, really know the information that I'm going to talk about or live in there, because sometimes the system here may be different from the system in every country.
correct, correct,
So sometimes it's advisable. That's why I always try to bring people that live there and have the right information from the source to feed the people. Because sometimes when you misinform them too, it's like you are trying to just wound them more than the agents themselves. So
correct.
yes, always okay. Thanks for the correction. So if anybody also have a question, I think we even passed the 5 minutes that we said. So if you have a question, please drop them here. And unfortunately, if I haven't replied your messages in my DM, please pardon me because tomorrow at least I'm going to work and then yeah, I have a lot of things to do too. Sometimes I try to chip in. I try to steal some of my work time to try to make some posts and try to reply your messages. So if I haven't replied yours, please do forgive me. Maybe I'll reply it. But sometimes I don't reply messages. Like today, for instance, I posted we are going to talk about DV lottery and prepare your documents in case you win. So, people that do not join the show, if you come to my inbox the next time to ask me questions about it, it will be I will read your message, but unfortunately, I will not reply because now he has his time to do something. It's 10:32 here now. I should be in bed now, but here am I just for your sake to make sure you get the right information, to make sure you don't have to go pay extra 10,000 or 5,000 to anybody or 2,000 for them to give you stories. But if you don't really appreciate the time and effort I'm putting in for you, sorry, I cannot also come back again and waste my time to answer a question that has been answered already in the video. But since reason best known to you, you couldn't join. And then sometimes they even get upset to you if you don't even reply their messages. Some will even ask you, have I done something wrong to you? You have never done anything wrong to me. You don't know me in person. I have a family to deal with. I have work people to deal with than to tell you that you have done something wrong to me. You haven't done anything wrong. It's just that probably I haven't gotten time to reply your messages. So please sometimes do bear with me. It's a free service I'm rendering to you guys. Have patience with me. It's only me that I have to do videos, make posts, and then still reply your messages. So sometimes if I'm late in replying your messages, please do pardon me. It isn't deliberate. Do I need to add my degree certificate aside from BEC and WASI? Ben, I think we have some question here for you.
Okay, so now when you are filling the first application, they
Yeah.
require. I think it has the education side. It has your higher level. It have up to the highest. So you could do high school, your university college. Even if you have masters, you could list them.
Yeah.
So your highest is going to be your master's, and the second one is going to be your university degree. Then your third is going to be your lowest is going to be your high school. So once you state it, it's incumbent on you that if you're going for an interview, you should have all this documentation
Good.
to prove. So yeah.
Yes, sure. So I think if anybody has another question, please do ask. This live is 34. 35, you're going to end this live. And once again, thank you, Benjamin, for coming to share your knowledge with the people that
You're welcome.
are on my platform. We really appreciate and we say thank you and God bless you. It sounds
No problem.
simple, but that's a lot of work with the documentation. The documentation is not a lot of work. Listen,
It's
these
not.
documents you need. You need a police report. Listen to me. Who is that? Agnes, right? You need a police report. Your birth certificate. If you have case, you included that you have case. Add your case certificate. If you are married, hi Judith. Yeah, today you are late. If you are married, add your marriage certificate. That is it. Birth certificate, passport, case birth certificate, if married, marriage certificate, if divorce, divorce certificate. Add all this. Get your police report. The rest with your, and then you try to, like, later if you win, you try to fill your DS-260 form, pay your visa fee, schedule appointment for your distance, for your medicals. It's a done deal. Bring your educational transcript with you. This isn't something difficult. It's not really difficult. Getting your passport. I think you have a passport. Everybody here should have a passport. You can't be on my page and tell me you don't have a passport. So you have a passport. You use your birth certificate to apply for your passport. So normally you should have a birth certificate when you have a passport too. You said you are a high school, you completed a high school graduate. Make sure you have your high school diploma with you. Go to the central police station in Accra, get your police report. The medicals, you need to pay for it. That is not really a big deal. And the visa fee, you need money for it too. If you have the money, all these documents, you can gather them within 2 days or a week.
Yeah.
You don't need 1 month to gather these documents I'm talking about. You must have a passport, a birth certificate, case birth certificate, if married, marriage certificate, if divorce, divorce certificate. And then, like, it's in your school transcript. Like, this is just a simple thing, it's basic thing. When you immediately put it at the back of your brain that, oh, it's difficult, I cannot really get it. It means you have to confront an agent, and then they will try to take money from you for these documents that you are supposed to. You do not have to add a BEC certificate. No, it's not advisable. So they are going to take money from you, forge documents for you. At the end of the day, if you are not lucky and you are caught that all the documents that you submitted is not good, you are going to be bad. Believe me, for 10 years, even America can buy you for permanent. They even I even posted with their marriage fraud, they can buy you and then you can never ever like obtain a green card. Even if you remarry again, even if you have a child and the child want to fight for you over there, it's not possible. Like even job sponsorship is not possible. So I always tell you guys to make sure that all the documents you are providing for a visa application is really legit. And sometimes the problem we have is like we don't know the document that these agents use. So eventually they end up adding fake things to our application. And then the people that get banned is us, not them. The person can have their visa and travel, but you that he claimed he was helping and took money from you, you cannot travel. So please don't put at the back of your mind that no, it's difficult getting these documents. No, passport you must have, birth certificate you must have from your case, you must have from your divorce marriage, your divorce certificate or marriage certificate. You must have. These are basic documents. Your high school diploma you must have. It's a basic document. Even if you're not traveling, make sure you have all these documents because you don't know even when you are going to meet somebody, the person will ask you, do you have a passport? I really want to help you. And then you are like, oh no, let me go pay a Goro boy to get me an instant passport. And which is not really guaranteed that they are going to get it for you. My boss, if your wife contradict herself, is it going to affect you? Ben, in
Yes.
case like you applied with your wife and maybe your wife is contradict herself during the interview, does it affect you?
No. So first of all, let's get a scenario clear. So who's the
Main
applicant? Is it
applicant is the husband.
if the main applicant is the husband, the wife is not asked any question.
All right. So
So pretty
William,
much, yes, they deal with the main applicant. The only thing they have to see on your interview day whether they are with you or you have their passport. So let's say if you have the main applicant being the father and the
yeah.
wife couldn't make it and the kids are here. My wife is at work, but these are my children. You submit their passport. The key thing is you, the applicant, you are there to answer those questions. That's all.
All right. Yes. So Agnes, all these documents, when you say you have them, it's not a problem gathering the document. Let's hope and pray that you win, and the rest, yeah, we see how it goes. It's not really much a problem. All the best of luck to those that applied last year, hoping
Yep.
for their results. That is next month. I pray that some of the people that I applied for will win, and then at least I'll be happy that yeah, I did a good job for you guys. So God bless you guys. God bless you, Benjamin, for your time again. I really
Thank
appreciate.
you. You're
So
welcome.
probably next week we are not going to meet because next week I'll be on holidays, and I think in May too I'll be in America. I think so. Yeah,
Really?
yeah. I think in May I'm going to be in America and in Mexico. I think in May. Yeah, sure. In May, I think I will see if it's possible that I come for Facebook Live. I will see because probably I'll be doing some live, some videos which I'll be uploading on my YouTube. So, but yeah, sure, definitely, I'll try catch up with you and try to fix you guys in my schedule. No problem. Thank you very much. Have a good evening, everybody. Thank
No,
you
thank you.
once again.